Our topic for this evening, our topic for this evening is one that I've been fascinated about and fascinated by for a long time. And it's the domain of vision, purpose, and the question of goals, because in the principles community, one of the most liberating things many of us discover is that our feelings are letting us know about the present moment, that our feelings are letting us know about the principle of thought taking form, and that a lot of old ideas about I'll be happy when and I couldn't be happy if and all that sort of stuff is dissolved. But one of the things I've seen is that in that, people sometimes throw the baby out with the bathwater. They kind of go, oh, because I don't need things to be any particular way in order to have a beautiful life, therefore I shouldn't have goals, or I shouldn't want to create things, or I shouldn't want to achieve things. And the thing that strikes me in relation to that is, as I see it, like who you really are is this incredible spark of consciousness placed at the heart of your being. And you're here for a reason, and you've got heart's desires and dreams and impulses and urges and intuitions about things that you want to do, that you want to create, that you'd love to bring into being. And I think that we dishonor those when we just say, that's just your thinking, though. It's like, no, like there's a rich source of wisdom and intelligence that comes from the wholeness and the fullness of life that is being expressed through you. And one of the forms that takes is dreams and heart's desires and that sort of thing. And so I think there's something really powerful about honoring those. And then if we want to, move in the direction of some heart's desire or create something, then goals can be a very useful way of organizing the activities of teams and of individuals, and prioritizing things and all that sort of stuff. And I think that same energy is behind vision and purpose. Again, there's 8 billion of us living on this planet, and we all want different things and are doing different things. We may all deep down want the same thing at the heart of the matter, which is, to remember who we really are. And once you remember who you really are, then there's a freedom that comes along with that to create. My team and I, we met up in Genoa in Italy a couple of weeks ago to collaborate on developing a strategy and vision and all that sort of thing for the business. We felt it was time for a refresh and all that sort of stuff. So we got together and we entered into a deeply collaborative space, lots of deep connection and listening. And what emerged from that is something above and beyond what I would have imagined we would have come up with. And the first thing that emerged was a purpose, a deep purpose, which is we realized that our purpose going forward is to champion the wisdom and intelligence and connection in every single person. We want to champion that source of wisdom and intelligence and aliveness that's there in everyone. And that was big for us. So that's purpose, right? But that's not a purpose that we figured out. It's kind of funny, actually. Like we were all sharing ideas and coming up with things that we had in mind and that sort of thing. And then one of us was holding forth about something, and one of the other people heard this line in the middle of this stream of consciousness, which was to champion the wisdom, intelligence, and connection at the heart of every person. And it's like, whoa, that, and all of it was electric. It was like all of us were like, yeah, that. But we didn't figure it out. It came to us. It was given to us. That's an expression of mind. That's an expression of the wisdom and intelligence behind life. Then we were playing around with mission, and we realized that our mission is, like, if our purpose is to champion the wisdom and intelligence and connection in every person, then our mission would be to give every person to facilitate every person in having a direct experience of who they really are, of their true identity. And like, so all of a sudden we're like, holy shit, how are we going to do that? But we know what we need to do now, right? So that's mission, to facilitate every person in having a direct experience of true identity, of who they really are. And so with that, we're like, well, how are we going to do that? Well, what are we going to do? Like, if that's our mission and that's our purpose, what are we going to do? And what emerged was to create a protocol for transmitting that, like for sharing that, which is by protocol, it's just a way that this can pass person to person to person to person to person, a protocol for transmitting it through people, not like, I'm not talking about a SMTP systems protocol. I like just a way of transmitting that person to person to person. So that people have those direct experiences, and a way of stabilizing that, and an organization for propagating that. And so it's like, oh, now we know what we're up to. So that's vision and purpose. And then the thing we haven't figured out yet, because we're only early in the game, is what are the goals? But I'll tell you another story. So we were having a strategy meeting this morning to figure out some of okay, what are we going to do? And I'm driving over to where we're having the meeting. And on the way over, I'm thinking, protocol. I guess step one is to make a protocol. Geez, how do we make a protocol? This is boring. I don't even want to do that. And then it suddenly hit me. Start with the purpose. It's like, what am I not bored about? To champion the wisdom and intelligence and connection in every person. Well, that feels totally alive to me. So I said, okay, well, I guess that's where we need to start. So I got to the meeting, and I shared that with everyone. And then we realized that for us as a team, that's one of the first to-dos, is to make sure we're always starting from that place of being present to the wisdom and intelligence in everyone. And then the rest of it we'll figure out. But this is about being guided by life. It's not about not having goals or not wanting things to be different or not needing things to be different to be okay. It's about entering into collaboration with life, into service of the wisdom and intelligence of mind, in helping to bring forth whatever it is that life wants to bring forth. So to me, that's the context for vision, purpose, and the question of goals. It isn't about what does my ego want to bring into being. It's about what does life want me to bring into being, or us to bring into being, or you to bring into being. So I thought that'd be a nice way to start our session. Thanks for your attention. I look forward to seeing you soon.